8.5 Concept Check. The amount of enzyme in the cell can be controlled by an increasing induction or decreasing repression. The amount of mRNA that encodes the enzyme, the transcriptional regulation, involves regulatory proteins that bind the DNA into small molecules called effectors. For negative control of transcription, the regulatory protein is a repressor, called a repressor, and it functions by inhibiting mRNA synthesis. Positive control transcription. Repression constitutes a kind of regulation called negative control. The controlling element, the repressor protein, brings about the repression of mRNA synthesis. Even though the repressor has a negative role, a system using a repressor can control enzyme induction, as we saw with beta-lactosidase. However, another type of control, positive control, has also been recognized in positive control of transcription of regulatory protein promotes the binding of mRNA. Promotes the binding of RNA polymerase, thus acting to increase mRNA synthesis. We will now consider a system that involves positive regulation, the regulation of maltose catabolism in Escherichia coli. The maltose regulon. The enzyme for the utilization of sugar maltose in Escherichia coli are synthesized only after addition of maltose to the medium. The pattern of induction of these enzymes follows that shown beta-lactosidase, but in the case it is maltose, not lactose, that is the inducer. The synthesis of the enzyme for maltose utilization is controlled at the level of transcription, but by an activator protein, not by a repressor. The maltose activator protein can bind to the DNA cannot bind to the DNS unless the protein first binds maltose, the effector. When the effector protein does bind to DNA, it allows RNA polymerase to begin transcription. Activators like repressors recognize specific sequence on the DNA. The sequence that serves as the binding site of the activator is not called an operator, but an activator binding site. Nonetheless, the genes controlled by the activator binding site are called an operand. In negative control, the repressor binds to the operand and blocks transcription. How does an activator protein work? Positively controlled promoters have nucleoside sequences that are not close matches to the consensus sequence. Even with the occurred sigma factor, the RNA polymerase has difficulty recognizing these promoters. The activator protein, when bound to DNA, helps the RNA polymerase either recognize the promoter or begin transcription. The activator protein may cause a change in the structure of DNA, perhaps bending it, allowing the RNA polymerase to make the correct contacts with DNA. The activator protein may also interact directly with the RNA polymerase. This can happen either when the activator binding site is close to the promoter, or when it is several hundred base pairs away from the promoter. The genes needed for maltose utilization are spread out in several operands, each of which have an activator binding site to which the maltose activator proteins can bind. Therefore, maltose activator protein actually controls more than one operand. When more than one operand is under the primary control of the same regulatory protein, these operands are collectively known as regulon. Therefore, the enzyme for maltose utilization are encoded by maltose regulon. Regulons are also known for operands under negative control. The arginine biosynthetic enzyme are encoded by the arginine regulon whose operands are all under the control of the arginine repressor protein. One of these operands was shown. Many genes in Escherichia coli have promoters under positive control, and many have promoters under negative control. However, there are other types of regulation known. In addition, many genes, perhaps most genes, either have a promoter with multiple types of control or have more than one promoter, each of its own control system. In many cases, there are layers of control with gene expression regulated both by specific effectors related to particular gene function. Such the maltose regulon responding to maltose, and also more generally effectors responding to some more global aspect of metabolism. Indeed, both the lactose operand and the maltose regulon respond to such global regulatory system. We discuss this system in the next section. Concept check 8.6. Positive regulators of transcription are called activator proteins. They bind to activator binding sites on DNA and stimulate transcription by RNA polymerase. Activator protein, actively like repressor protein activity, is modified by effectors for positive control of enzyme induction. The effector promotes the binding of the activator protein and thus stimulates mRNA synthesis. Global control and the lac operant. Often an organism needs to regulate many different genes simultaneously in response to change in its environment. Regulatory mechanisms that respond to environmental signals by regulating expression of many different genes are called global control systems. Our discussion above did not consider the possibility that the environment in which the cells are growing might contain several different carbon sources that the bacteria could. Many bacteria, such as Escherichia coli, can use a very wide array of carbon sources. It would be wasteful to induce enzymes for lactose or maltose metabolism if the cells were already growing on the growing source that they could use more efficiently. In fact, one of the global regulatory networks, catabolite repression, prevents this problem. Catabolite repression. In catabolite repression, the synthesis of a variety of related enzymes, primarily catabolic, are inhibited when the cells are grown in medium that contains a preferred energy source such as galactose. Catabolite repression has been called the glucose effect because glucose was the first substance shown to initiate it, although in some organisms carbon sources other than glucose cause this form of enzyme repression. Catabolite repression ensures that the organism uses the more readily catabolizable carbon and energy source, such as glucose first. One consequence of catabolite repression is that it can lead to dioxic growth. If the two energy sources are present in the medium at the same time, and if the enzyme needed for utilization of one of the energy sources is subject to catabolite repression and dioxic growth, the organism grows first on the energy source, and there is then a lag period before growth resumes on the other energy source. This phenomenon is illustrated. For growth on a mixture of glucose and lactose, the enzyme B-galactosidase, which is responsible for utilization of lactose, is inducible, but its synthesis is also subject to catabolite repression. Thus, as long as a glucose is present in the medium, B-galactosidase is synthesized, the organism grows only on the galactose and levels the lactose untouched. When the glucose is exhausted, catabolite repression is abolished. After a lag, galactosidase is synthesized and growth on the lactose occurs. Notice shows that the cell grow more rapidly on glucose, thus catabolized repression ensures that the cells use the best carbon source first. How does catabolite repression work? Catabolite repression involves control of transcription by an activator protein, and this is therefore a type of positive control in the case of catabolite repressible enzymes binding of RNA polymerase. The DNA occurs only if another protein called catabolite activator protein has bond first. An allostric protein, CAP, binds to DNA only if it has first bound a small molecule called cyclic adenosine monophosphate, cyclic AMP. For this reason, some scientists refer to this protein as CAMP receptor protein. Cyclic AMP has been shown to be a key element in a variety of control systems, not only in bacteria but in eukaryotes. It is synthesized from ATP by an enzyme called adenylate cyclase. Glucose entry into the cell inhibits the synthesis of cyclic AMP and stimulates cyclic AMP transport out of the cell. When glucose is transported into the cell, the cyclic AMP level in the cell is lowered and binding of RNA polymerase to the promoter does not occur. Thus, catabolite repression is really a result of deficiency of cyclic AMP and can be overcome by adding this compound to the medium. Although this may sound like a simple positive regulatory system, Each of the operands that CAP controls is also under control of a specific regulatory protein. Therefore, catabolite repression modulates several unrelated regulatory systems, and thus is a prime example of global control. As long as glucose present, catabolite repression prevents expression of all other catabolic operands under the global controlling element. A complete regulatory region of lactose operand, black operand, is shown. For transcription to occur, two requirements must be met. 1. The level of cyclic AMP must be high enough so that the CAP protein binds to the cap binding site, positive control. Then there must be an inducer such as lactose present, so that the lactose repressor does not block transcription by binding to the operator negative control. Concept check 8.7. Global control systems respond to signals in the environment and regulate the expression of many genes simultaneously. Catabolite repression is a global control system, and it serves to help cells make the most efficient use of carbon sources. The lac operand is under the control of catabolite repression as well as its own specific regulatory system. Regulative transcription, other mechanisms. We have discussed a few of the most fundamental mechanisms cells use to regulate the transcription of genes. Repression proteins can be used to inhibit transcription in negative control systems, and activator proteins can activate transcription in positive control systems. We have also seen that there may be more than one layer of control in the regulation of the repression expression of specific genes. In the next section, we will discuss a few other mechanisms cells use to regulate transcription. Attenuation. Some control systems do not involve regulatory proteins that bind to the DNA. The regulatory process called attenuation is such a system. The word attenuation means to lessen in amount. Previously, we described regulating transcription at initiation. That its repression blocked the synthesis of RNA, whereas activator proteins encourage synthesis. The transcription attenuation, the control occurs after initiation of RNA synthesis, but before its completion, that is, a number of complete transcripts from a gene or an operand is reduced, even though the number of initiated transcripts is not. Most of the first known examples of attenuation involve regulatory genes controlling the biosynthesis of certain amino acids and gram-negative bacteria. The first such system to be described is the tryptophan operand in Escherichia coli, and we focus on it here. Excuse me for a second.